Hey there, Hushpap here, back with another video, and today we'll be taking a look at a very cool game editor by the Sandbox, who are the sponsors of today's video. It's called GameMaker, and the plan is to make something fun with it. The Sandbox GameMaker has had a huge update recently with version 0.9. If you'd like to give it a go yourself, you can download GameMaker 0.9 for free using the link in the description box or pinned comment below. Now you might be wondering what the Sandbox is. Simply put, it's an online multiplayer platform where you can create, publish, and share your experiences with the community. With the Sandbox GameMaker, you can build whatever you imagine without needing to use a single line of code by using drag and drop behaviors and components. Making experiences has never been so easy. Keep 100% of the revenue and everything you create in the Sandbox. 100%? That's right, it's all yours. Isn't that awesome? Before we start building, let's get an overview of the new features added in the 0.9 update. Can't code? The new visual scripting system allows you to define rules, whether you want to use one of the presets or make your own custom ones. You can grant special access to areas of your experience if the player owns a certain asset. Power-ups can also be added to enhance gameplay, whether you need that damage boost or maybe running low on health. Checkpoints. This handy object allows you to create a respawn point for the player, great for obstacle courses. And lastly, enhanced travel with player teleporting and advanced platforms. Look at that little guy go. With the message on equip feature, you can now trigger specific game events whenever the player equips an item, which is really cool. With this, you can also let players start in your experience with equipment they already own, or give them something that you've created. This one is very useful. The find and replace tool allows you to quickly swap out assets for a different one. Don't like that tree? You can turn it into a crate, just with a few clicks. It also keeps all of the behavior properties untouched, so you don't have to go and resync everything. Great for when you're prototyping enemies, like say if you have some sort of barbarian dude and you don't want that anymore, you want him to be like a medieval knight, you can keep all the NPC logic intact. A staple in many game engines, there's now a grid system, which allows you to do a whole bunch of different features like customizing the increments, as well as object snapping, which is my personal favorite. New game debugging features, hey, that's always useful. And the quick access menu, this is definitely useful if you're making a very big world. You can create shelves full of different items and assign them to hotkeys, which will allow you to just quickly go through and place things down. Like in the video here, if you've got a whole group full of nature assets, you can have them all on one hotbar, and that makes it easy to find them when you need them. You can do the same for all sorts of other things too. And that concludes the overview of the GameMaker 0.9 features. We left the best till last with templates. Start off right, choose from more than 60 customizable templates to build upon, including templates already fitted with diverse rule sets, logic, and gameplay mechanics. This is something we'll be taking advantage of today when we make our experience. So this is the Sandbox GameMaker. Speaking of templates, we're going to go over here and check some of these out. Let's go and start with Chrono Camp. Give it a name. I'm just going to call this Test, since we're going to make a better one in a minute, but we just want to have a look and see how templates work. Just in case you guys want to start making your own game, this is how you would do it with templates. Alright, now it's loaded up. You can see there's a bunch of pre-made assets already. We can add blocks down if we wanted to. We can add like lava, which honestly wouldn't be a good idea here since it's very peaceful. We've just ruined this nice nature scene with lava blocks, but that's fine. It's our own world. We can do what we want. We can have lava here, it's fine. Also put a car on it. I wonder if that car will explode. I'll have to see. So after you've made changes, you can just hit the play button and see what happens. That's actually moving. Huh, interesting. So I think the goal of this world is you've actually got to plant the trees. So you need 200 points to do that. And we got to sleep. When we sleep, things grow. Then we got to clear out the stuff. And then we can get enough points to plant a tree. Very simple stuff. And there we go. Nice tree. Does this kill me? It doesn't. It makes like a nice sound when you go into it. But we're not going to do that. So we're going to exit this experience. And head on back to the main menu. And we're actually going to create a proper template, because this is what we're actually going to be building on today. So for this one, we're going to be choosing the Ice Grotto. We're going to be calling this one Cocoa Quest, as we are going to be adding a bunch of quests to this, as the name implies. I'm sure this is fine. Let's just hit continue. Alright, so this is the world we're actually going to be editing on. It's a very nice ice-themed planet. Or it could be somewhere on Earth as well. So this is where we will spawn. Do we want this here? We could move it, I guess, a bit further back. Very easy to do with the drag handles. There we go. We're going to start all the way back here. And the goal today is to turn this template into something fun and playable. And to do that, we need to add some rules, as what good game doesn't have rules? And we can do this very easily by going to Gameplay, Game Rules, and we can load up one of the presets. For this one, we're going to have it be collect points, as that one is one of the simpler ones to work with. This one just tracks a variable called score, and when we update score, the number will go up. Nice and easy, nothing too complicated. We might change the name of score later, but for now we'll leave it as score, keep it simple. But if we wanted to, we don't have to actually use presets at all. You could make your own thing. And using these rules here, you can pretty much make whatever you want to. We added a math block here, which will listen to a certain message, and then you can tell it what you want to do with that. But it's nice to play around with the presets because they sort of teach you what to do, and then you can build out from there. Like there's a math block here, listens to score, value of score, and it fires the score changed event, which other things can listen to. Like the next block here, when it listens to score changed, it will run this block. It's very nice. Visual coding without actually needing to write any code. But yes, keeping it simple, gonna leave it as default for this one. Now this whole scene is taking place at night, which is quite nice, but we could change that if we wanted to by going into the ambient section. We could set it to noon, and there we go. That immediately gives it a different look to the environment. They're much brighter. There's also music tracks, which at the moment it's set to none. So it's quite quiet. We could set it to Winter Wonderland. That would be quite nice for this. Suits the time of year since it is almost Christmas. There's also TikTok. I wonder what TikTok is. Is that the app or is that just the name of the track? Well, we're setting it to Winter Wonderland anyway. There's also background ambient sounds, which I don't know if we really want these. Music would probably be enough. So we're going to leave that one alone. And let's give it a little test. It's always good to test your games as you're making them, even though we didn't really add anything but change the lighting. Now I think it didn't save because this particular template has a day-night cycle, I believe. If we exit play mode, we can see exactly why it's doing that. So this little entity here, yeah, it changes the weather. So we could actually delete this, and then it would stop doing that. So if we delete that, and then hit the play button again, there we go. It's keeping it exactly how we wanted it to, which is a brighter scene. I also noticed the music wasn't playing, but I think that's because I just had the volume down. So let's test it one more time. You should hopefully hear some Christmas music. There we go. Very Christmassy already. Something else we can also do is change the camera mode. So right now it's third person, which for a game like this, that would make the most sense, but you can set it to first person, angled, and top down. Top down would be quite cool to test out. So let's try that in a moment. There's also other settings that pop up when you change the mode. If we go back to third person, we can change these sliders to like increase the distance from the subject and the camera itself. A bunch of other different settings. Going back to top down, there's less of them, but that makes sense. So the camera locks would be quite interesting. So you could make games where the camera is just fixed in one position and you're moving around still, but it doesn't follow you. And this, I guess, is how far it is from up above to you. So it's like 20 units. We'll leave everything as default for now since we haven't really played around with this setting that much. That's really cool. Looks like a top-down RPG game. And if you felt this was too close to the character, you could increase that number and the camera would be further back. Nice stuff. But for our world, we're going to change it back to third person as that looked good before. The default settings were also great. Something else you can do, which is quite fun, is if you don't want people having their own avatar, you can actually set it to a custom avatar. And you can pick from one of the many avatar models. I don't think you even need to make it a humanoid. You could just make it this air conditioning unit. But that's very cool. They do have a crab. That's very funny. Does this work? Equipments are only compatible with humanoid avatars. You can also give them some starting gear if you wanted to. So this particular template gives you a sword. I don't think it works on the crab because it's not a humanoid avatar. But that's very funny. If you wanted to be a crab, you can. Running around. Does the snow leopard attack you? It doesn't. Now that the features have been looked at, it's time to actually go and make the cool stuff. So we're going to switch back to the player's avatar since we want you to actually be playing as you. And now it's time to actually make the gameplay part of this. And to do that, we need to get a quest giver. So first we need to make something give out quests, an entity. It could actually be anything, including a block, but we want it to be something interesting. So we're going to go and look for a creature or humanoid. Yeah, an Arctic fox, why not? That would make a good quest giver. So in the library, there's a whole bunch of free characters and props and things you can use in your worlds. But if you don't find anything you like, you can also just make your own using the Vox editor, where you can use voxels to make your own characters or props or anything really. There's the Vox edit button. And you can also buy these on the marketplace too, which means if you make something cool, you could also sell it. But we're not doing that today. We're going to be using the assets that we can get on hand. Oh, look at him. He's so adorable. So to make this a quest giver, we're going to have to actually change quite a few properties of this little entity. His default behavior is bird, which is interesting. I wonder if the fox would fly. So we're going to set it to be an asker, which means this entity will have the behavior of asking you a question, which we can tie to a quest, which will be great. To set up the quest, we're going to need to first customize all of these variables here. So first we need to give this little fella a name, and of course, his name is Steve. He's not going to ask us how are we today. He's going to ask the question, can you help? Because he needs help. There we go, these are some S-tier writing answers. So he'll be asking us, can you help me? We'll be saying, of course, or we could answer, can't, too busy. And if you select A1, we want to make this so it will send an event out. So we're going to tie this to quest 1. We'll be adding more than one quest, which is why we put a 1 there. Forward thinking. And to add a quest, we need to go to the Objectives tab, and then turn on quests, and then we can just add a quest here. Set it to quest 1 to match the name of the message being sent out. Quests have a lot of different parameters to customize, which is good. It means you can make some really neat things. We do want this quest to auto-unlock, which means it starts ready to go. And we also want it to auto-launch as well. We don't want it to auto-launch because that means when the game starts, it will pop up immediately. So we're going to make it require a message, and the message will be quest 1, which popped up down there when we typed it in, as we already made the message earlier from entering it into the quest. We're going to set this quest type to counter, which was the default. There's also these other ones we can pick. We're going to have collected objects, and this is the tag for the item to pick up. So we're going to make our little adventurer pick up some treasure. And 5 seems like a good number. Going to make it autocomplete. And when it's finished, we can also send a message outwards as well, which we're going to try something fun here. We did set up the gameplay rules to count score. Let's try and add something that can increase score. We might have to make our own message here because we want something else to receive this and then add a certain amount to the score. Like quest score complete. And there we go, we've added the quest. And if we need to go back and read these messages that we've written, we can come back here and grab these. Oh, we also need to change the description since it's just default, which is not great. So the description of this quest will be collect 5 ancient treasures. We'll leave that as quest 1 for now. If that appears in like the pop-up box, we will want to change this. So we're going to add a new math rule here with quest default complete, which I'm hoping this will work. it will give us a 10 score for completing a quest. 10 seems quite low, so let's change it to 100. So yeah, hopefully when the quest is completed, this will listen to the message and then the score will be updated by a value of 100. So there's a few things we can test. But we also need to add the thing to pick up. And for that, back to the asset library, we need to find some sort of coin or ancient treasure. And here we go. If we go to the prop section, there's the ancient artifact. Okay. Aztec medallion. Ancient treasure A. And ancient treasure B. So there's actually a lot we could use here. Let's use the medallion though. It's got the legendary value on it, so it must be cool. So there we go. That is one ancient medallion. Very nice looking item. We'll move it later. We just want it here so we can customize some of the variables. So for this one, we need to make sure it has the ability to be picked up. So to modify this, we need to make sure it can actually be collected. So we're going to add the component collectible. So now that we have the collectible component, if we add the tag treasure, this should hopefully work. Since it's looking for that tag, treasure in the quest section. Let's make 5 of them. We will move these into more interesting places later, hopefully. But we just want it like this just to test it. Let's play. And here we go. There's our Arctic Fox. If I press E on it, he asks if he can help me. Although I think I need to change something so that there's a pop-up so we can see it's a quest giver. We're going to say, of course. Quest 1. Okay, we thought that might happen, so we need to rename Quest 1 to whatever the actual quest is. And there we go. Picking up these treasures completes the quest. So we've made a small improvement so that this little guy will actually have a message above his head. We added a speaker component with the text, "Can you help?" It also will face us, which is nice. And there we go. That's much better. So we noticed that the score counter was not always visible on the screen. So to make sure that that's always there, we went to the Show Rules heads up display button. And we made sure this was on true. And then we also clicked on the one next to it and made sure that this was shown at game start. So that means we can always see our score counter, which is very important if that's something we want to track. So to make everything work correctly, we've added a few other entities. First up is this little ancient doodad. With this one, we just wanted to make it so we could test the score going up. So we made it a collectible type, and then we made sure in the logic section that the collect message was set to score, and then this little points variable popped up so we could add a number 1 to it, which means we'll have +1 score whenever we collect one of these, and then it will disappear. We've also added this logic asset, which can be found in the logic section of the asset library. These are very useful for doing all sorts of different things. Lights, post-processing, visual effects. But since this is game logic, we just wanted it to be a logic asset. The method we were using before didn't quite work with updating score, so instead we have this little thing listening out for whenever a quest is completed, and then that will give us 100 points. So to do that, we gave it the behavior message broadcaster. We set the message to send be score, which again made this little points variable pop up. We put 100 in it, which is what we wanted to do before. We set the broadcast type to rules, as it needs to interact with the rules system. We also had to make sure that this was checked to wait before broadcast, as we are waiting for a message to be received before it sends something out. And for that, we're having it as quest score complete. So there we go, let's test everything. Yep, the Arctic Fox is looking at us. The score is 0 at the bottom of the screen. If we collect this ancient artifact, it goes up by 1. Speak to the Arctic Fox, Steve. Accept the new quest, which we still need to rename. Pick up all of these treasures. And there we go, score is 101. It's all working nicely. Now we need to make a more interesting quest for the second part, and for that, we're going to add some enemies. So we're going to rename Quest 1 to actually be something else. So I have it be, this quest will be Steve's Request. And the second quest, I'm going to call this one Wolf Watch, because we need to defeat the evil wolves. As I can see, a nice little wolf asset down there, made them the enemies. Defeat 10 wolves. I'm going to set this up similar to the other quest, So everything else is the same. We're going to make it trigger on quest 2. It is also a counter, though this time it's deaths, and the tag, I guess Grey Wolf, since it's a singular entity. We need 10 of these to be defeated. And on this one, we're actually going to end the game, as that will be the end of our particular adventure for now, until we expand it. So we can always change this again to send message. Just putting a whole bunch more of these little ancient artifacts around. Give something for the player to collect. We're also leading them towards this ladder, as I want to do something cool up here. And to do that, they need to be guided on where to go. So this is where we're going to have our battle. Up here somewhere. That'll be very cool. And this is where we're going to have our next quest giver. So we need to find another NPC to act as our quest giver. We could do another Arctic Fox, but that would be boring using the same thing twice. So let's use a beaver. There we go. Let's set them up exactly the same. And not have the prey tag. We want to have the asker. We don't want health. Get rid of that. Add the component of a speaker. Speaker name. This one cannot be Steve. We'll call this one Darren. Can you help defeat the evil wolves? The answer is gonna be no problem. Or no way. It's cool you have 4 different dialogue options you can pick here, actually. I'm gonna say no but angrier. Let's see how that works. We don't care about any of these, but we do want to make sure the accept one is set to quest 2 to pick up that quest. Darren needs help as the text to display. Alright then. Let's just drop one of these guys in here. Now this is a default asset, so this wolf doesn't have any of these set up that we want just yet. In fact, it can't be fought at all. It's just set as an asset spawner. We don't really want the predator behavior because this is going to make it walk until it is hungry. So we want it to really be stationary. So maybe melee enemy. There we go, melee enemy. Health. Not how much health it should have. It's a good question. How much damage does our sword do? It'll do 14. And when it dies, I'm sure we want to set it so that it will send a message out. Message sent on death. Here we go. We want that to be whatever we set up in the objectives tab. Which was, oh, is Grey Wolf. Okay. In that case, we don't need a message then. We just need a tag. So we can just add tag Grey Wolf. And that should work if we just tag it. But we did say we needed to kill 10 of these things, so that's a lot of damage. You do not want to mess with this wolf pack. 5 already seems too many, so this will be very interesting. But it's okay, we're going to make this a little easier for our player. Alright, here we go, all of the wolves menacingly staring. So to give our player a bit of a helping hand, we're going to add some power-ups up here. Something I think is much needed when facing down 10 wolves. But first we need an asset that will actually look the part. So let's just take a browse through props. Let's get this clan chest. This can be one of the power-ups. There we go. Looks quite nice. And then we're going to have this golden treasure pot as the other one. Now power-ups are very easy to add. So you just need to go to the item in question. You need to go to the component section and make it a power-up. Which is also multiplayer enabled. So if you have more than one player on your game, the effect should sync between everyone. So we can actually change this to attack power, which is exactly what we need here. So it's going to last 20 seconds, and it's going to increase damage by 2. You can also give it a display name. I call it the Chest of Courage. There we go. And then we're going to go to this golden treasure pot and another power up. We're going to make this health. Let's leave it at the default of 10. Cup of Life is what we're going to give the name of this. And hopefully this all works when we give it a playtest. Alright, so can you help? Of course. Pick up these, which I should have moved these actually. Can pick up some treasure on the way. Climb the ladder. That's really nice. And Darren needs help. Oh, that's cool. It's got the pop-up now. No problem, no way, no but angrier. Let's say no. And let's try again. There we go. Alright, we want this power up. 2%. Wait, that was only 2%? Okay, I thought it was like times 2. Oh, it doesn't matter though. We're like absolutely destroying them. Yeah, take that, evil wolves. There we go. Coco Quest game beaten. That's really cool. Even after we've done all of that though, something's missing. Now players are usually notoriously lazy. So to fix that, let's add a teleporter. I think this asset is perfect for that. Look at the swirling portal. We'll give it the component Avatar Teleport. And we can connect 2 of these together. So I'll put the next one up here, away from the wolves. That wouldn't be very good, would it? So spawning point, we can search for the other one. Instant teleportation true. That's cool, you can actually attach a lot of stuff to this. You can make it send a message on teleport. Now the only thing is, can we oh, you can rename these. Okay, let's do that because it's going to get confusing. Teleport entrance 1. Teleport entrance 2. Since you could actually make this a one-way teleport too, we're going to make it a two-way one. But you could just make it exit there and that's it. And with this one, we're going to make the spawning point teleport entrance 1. And there we go, they're linked together. Very easy. Let's try that out. Cool. So you have to press E to interact with it. But that's really nice. We could also give it a pop-up like Darren here. And we could also make it face us. So let's add a component which is a speaker. Give it the name teleporter. Try that again. It's also nice how quickly you can iterate on your experiences. And there we go, it is facing us, but teleport entrance 1 teleporter. So maybe that doesn't work exactly how we would want. And it's also not facing the right way. Oh no. It's like, yes, I'm teleport entrance 2. Okay, we don't actually want that then. We'll remove that component. That's also the cool thing. If you don't like something, just click the delete button and it's gone. Now we can change the chest from 2% to 10%. Let's also go over to these medallions and make them more interesting. Space them out, but not too far away as we don't want people getting lost. That wouldn't be good. It would be cool if we could add something to these to make it spin, just like these ancient artifacts, but I don't see anything on here that specifically gives it a constant rotation. It looks like it's just baked into the asset, and it's not something we can edit. But yeah, that would be cool. Make these spin. We spread them out though, so that'll be more fun. And I think that's a good place to leave it for this world. Since we're happy with everything, we can go ahead and publish. So to publish, all we need to do is go to the top left and hit that publish button. And then we can go to share in gallery. There we go. We're gonna name this Coco Quest. We're actually just gonna make this a single player one, just because I don't think all of the multiplayer stuff will work properly. You have to write a description. Well, this should be good enough. And there we go, it's that easy. So for the last bit of this video, we're going to be trying some community-made experiences built using the Game Maker editor. This one looked interesting. It's called Canistee Run, where you gotta run as a little can by the looks of it. Some sort of obstacle course. Canistee's here to steal the ocean gem. Press E. Rule 2, finish. So that's quite easy. Alright, let's press E. Are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go. 60 seconds. So you can't double jump. It's good to know. Oh. That's cool. The visuals have gone all funny. Go little can guy, go. Looks like if you fall down you can climb back up the ladder, so that's good. Okay, nice. Oh, dodge that guy just in case. Don't know what he'll do. Completed! Stage 2 escape. Whoa! That snake is looking at me. Oh, it's a frog. A frog on a cloud, okay. Well, I don't want to touch that guy just in case he like pushes you off or something. Oh, new level. It's like chocolate cake. Or is it just a tree? Since everything's been food based so far, I'm going to go with some sort of chocolate swirl, but it could be logs. Oh, we fell down. It's okay, luckily there's a ladder there. So when you get the health, the visuals go back to normal. So this was all made using the editor. That's really cool. You can do some very inventive things then. Since this stage is pretty big. Alright, we've got another escape stage. Oh, what else is going to appear? This is really cool. I like the use of hiding and showing elements of the map. That'd be fun to do if we go back and edit Coco Quest. It's like adding a bunch of things that can show and appear when you trigger certain bits of the game. I don't know if we're meant to be going on the snake yet, so I'm not going that way. Oh, just about made that. Oh no. Okay, we've got some health. Oh, what? We fell through that one. Another can is running, wait your turn. Oh no! So because we fell, I think that's it. I think we lost. Oh, we got kicked off. And looks like that's it. It's very unhappy with us, so it's dumping us eternally into the void. Nice. Well, that was a very fun experience. Community made one. And you too could make something similar, maybe without this infinite falling bug. If you want to build the world of your dreams and join one of the thousands of creators building experiences, then download the Sandbox Game Maker today, in the description box below or from the pinned comment. Well, that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.